Yeah, he's the chairman of the board, making moves that empower.
What up, fam? You're right, Pickle. There was double audio. You caught it. What's up, guys? Today is Wednesday, and we have the anticipated FOMC minutes update. Dot plot hype. Probably the exact same paragraphs we read every single month hype. Basically, what we do here is we try to take the FOMC, or the Federal Open Market Committee. We try to make it interesting. It's not an easy task. We've been doing it for years. You've been tuning in for years, and we're just going to keep on doing it. So thank you, guys. We have 330 live viewers in the first 30 seconds of the stream. Let's go. That's some serious hype. Clearly, it's not for Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin hanging out exactly where it was. Don't worry. If you looked away briefly, don't worry. It's still there. I have very brief updates on this. We'll look at the chart. Maybe we'll have time to peek at some alts before the 2 p.m. mark. So it's 1:33. We have less than 30 minutes until the FOMC notes are published. We are going to break them down. We're going to look for any between the lines, or I don't know, any kind of alpha we can get, or anything that diverges from what was said. And we're going to try to see what we can do with that data. That's right. We have the data. Chairman Powell doesn't have the data. We have the data. Next FOMC, I believe, coming in. Do we have one in March? Do you guys know? I think it's in March. They ran, there's only like 10 a year. They skipped 2. I think one of them is in August. I think one of them is in November. Let me just look here quick. Pretty sure it's next month. Fed rate, tool monitor, 3 weeks, 6 days, 23 hours, and 26 minutes. All right. Till the next FOMC, we are sitting currently at a 98% chance of nothing. What we've come to love and learn and embrace, absolutely, and nothing. A 2% chance of a 25 BPS cut. What's interesting, I don't see any speculation over an interest rate hike. We'll have to keep an eye out on jobs data. I know we have some coming in the next, I don't think in February, I think in March, before the FOMC. We have some jobs data, some inflation data. I think for this month, the big stuff is over. Let's take a look here this week. Bunch of FOMC members speaking. Looks like 2 of them have already spoken. One will be speaking at 6 p.m. today. Fed Waller, guys, when they speak, really, maybe we'll cover them in the future, but I don't see that happening. They speak constantly. If you're surprised by this, you're not following the Fed schedule. They're always speaking. They're on a celebrity tour. But when Chairman Powell speaks, we listen. Tomorrow, Tuesday, President Trump speaks at 9 o'clock. Have you guys noticed this? It seems like Trump speaks like in the evening, like late at night. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, that was yesterday. Look at me. FOMC minutes 24 minutes away. What do we got? We do have jobless claims continuing and initial tomorrow. My bad. No. Crude oil. Fed balance sheet. All right, that's not bad. That's interesting. At 4:30. Actually, Fed balance sheet tomorrow at 4:30 could be pretty spicy here. 6,814 billion. The reason that could be interesting is on this channel, as we followed the interest rate changes, we have gotten accustomed to that being the spicy movements. But the Fed has another tool. They have 2 tools. They have interest rate, and they also have their balance sheet. You guys have been hearing about it as quantitative tightening, quantitative easing, but the balance sheet is where we would see that reflected. So if the balance sheet is increasing, that would be quantitative easing. If it's decreasing, that would be quantitative tightening. You can think of it basically as the Fed's giant portfolio of assets. And when they buy assets, they imagine money into existence. So when their balance sheet increases, they imagine money into existence and basically buy it on the open market, which is quantitative easing. And when their balance sheet shrinks and they're selling those assets, they're now selling the assets they bought with imagined money back for real money, removing money from essentially the supply, right? So that'd be the quantitative tightening. So that would be interesting. We haven't tracked that really or followed that day, like on the days before, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll on Thursday. Friday, I didn't organize these by big 3 stars usually. I have it all. Home sales, always big. Home sales are a huge factor in inflation, but that looks about it. Manufacturing. I really think it's into March that we wait for the big numbers again. Initial jobless claims could be interesting, but I think that was actually Monday. I think that already happened. Let's see. How you guys feeling today? Daddy Powell, please pump our bags. We do have a very in-depth poll going on. Very important here. Save us, 𝐶HPOW. Save us or no, you like it boring. Do you like it boring? What's up, Redline Venom? So, guys, again, I do want to reiterate, today's the FOMC minutes. So, to be honest, it's equally interesting as the FOMCs because they're not interesting. But no, Powell will not be speaking not for another 3 weeks. This is going to be the minutes, and the minutes are basically the insider notes behind the last meeting. So, the closed door discussion, the dot plot, kind of the reasoning behind each decision. What's going to be interesting to me is if there's anything, and I doubt there will be, but it would be a wild card. If there's anything about Trump and kind of what is going on with Trump and 𝐶HPOW and the Fed. Trump, I don't know if Trump, I don't want to misspeak here. I don't know if he's directly said anything about closing the Fed. I know that people have been talking about that, but Trump has at least on one occasion said through media channels, not directly according to 𝐶HPOW, to lower interest rates. It's going to be interesting. If they have something mentioned there, that would be interesting for many reasons. One, it would mean they're considering it. But two, that would go against what 𝐶HPOW said in the last FOMC, where he said he wasn't aware of it. It's not a consideration, etc. Remember, like it or not, the Fed is not part of the government. I know it says federal, right? Federal Reserve. You'd think it's part of the government. It is not. That is intentionally deceptive, in my opinion. The Fed is independent. They're not elected. They're private. There's a privately owned bank, and they don't answer to the U.S. government. Not directly. Do you want that? You might want that to change. You might not. I don't know. I'm just telling you how it is currently. I'm not weighing in on the way it should be. Just is. What time does he talk? Andre, he's not. 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, we have the notes or the minutes here in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. The answer to Congress, the answer to, all right, I don't want to get into this, into like the nitty and gritty. You're correct. For all intents and purposes, you're correct. We'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there. No federal. It's not federal. There's no reserves and there's no bank. Certainly, I agree with a lot of that. What did you miss, David? Not much, man. You did miss Jam Bell, a guy in our chat who was here, actually, who has been here. Nice. He has been here a few times. I thought maybe he was just trolling, made a new account, and came in to troll. Has called the top. He said the top is in, and as you know, if Jam Bell calls the top, we had a good run. It was nice, guys. I guess we'll reconvene in 4 years. Maybe we'll have another all-time high. It was nice knowing you. It was nice. What's my preferred cold wallet? What is my preferred cold wallet storage? I use a Ledger. Honestly, I don't think it really matters. Ledger, Trezor, whatever, 𝐶HPOW, whatever it is. As long as you're using cold storage and you're practicing the right security measures. You're not putting your key out there on the internet. I don't think it really matters. Really what a cold wallet is, or device at the end of the day, is just a number generator, a random number generator. That is supposed to be very secure, and it just really is like a USB drive after that. It's just hosting your wallet, hosting your keys. It's much more. Wallets are much more about what the user is doing when it comes to security than it is the wallet themselves. Obviously, if you buy a compromised one, I don't know what to tell you. Don't buy a used Ledger, though I've never even heard of that. Never even heard of a scenario of that happening where someone got hacked or something, but probably not a great idea. You can use Trezor, you can use Ledger. It doesn't really matter. Report all the bots. Where are the bots, Jesse? Let's get them. Something interesting. You know what? I've been talking some shit on Reddit, so I will go and maybe smooth over some of this shit on Reddit. Nah, I don't really care. I've been talking some shit on Reddit about the Pi network. So let's, without getting into confirmed, non-confirmed, Pi network apparently is launching their mainnet tomorrow on the 20th. That's what I've heard. Launch tomorrow. We'll see. I feel like we've heard this before. I feel like we've had a date before. If they don't launch tomorrow, typically I would say, man, that'd be the most bearish event ever and the coin will tank, but that's impossible because this coin has never traded. It does not have a value in that sense. It is never traded for on any exchange and any currency. So it doesn't have a value to tank. I guess that'd be bad for morale. I don't really know what it would be bad for. Probably at the end of the day, it wouldn't change much, but it'd be interesting. I know some of you guys over the years have come to me and I have had a lot of opinions. Initially, I said pi is certainly a scam, just like everything else when you guys first came to me 6 years ago with it. Over time, I've kind of softened my stance to, I don't really think it's a scam so much as it is just a creative way to get you to view ads to generate revenue. And I think that's honestly about what it is at the end of the day. I've seen some posts, and this is what I was shitting on. People saying, oh, it's going to trade at $50 or something. Guys, that's gibberish. People have mined this coin via watching ads on their phone and basically selling their personal information to the company for 6 years. They've spent $0. But what that means is people are waiting to sell it. As soon as this is listed, people are going to sell them. I don't know where people think this like buying demand is going to come from. Like, you know, this mainnet, what even is it? Really, the mainnet exists for it to then be transferred and sold. That's my opinion. But those of you who've been, you know, viewing ads to get it over the years, whatever, I think you're okay. I think at worst, I thought it was like a Trojan back in the day. I don't think that's true anymore. I think it's just a creative way to get you to watch ads. So there is my making amends for all the shit I've been talking on Reddit about it. I mentioned it in the stream and I was fair about it. So there you go. That pie won't taste good. No. Rug pull and delist. But that's the thing, Sprouks. Is like, it can't really rug because it doesn't have a value. And that's something that even over the years I have come to, I don't want to say respect about it, but place it above other things in ways because they have never taken value outside of, you watch ads, so they're making ad revenue, and they made you KYC, so they have all your kind of sensitive data that they probably sold, but they didn't extract any extra value out of you, any more than what most social media sites are doing, making you watch ads, taking your personal info. So to rug, they can't really rug. There's no value there to rug. I think it'll be a race to the bottom when it comes to the holders of it. I think that it will be a race to the bottom, meaning people are going to move their pie if they can. They're going to try to sell it and they're going to get money out of it because they didn't invest anything. They haven't invested anything. That's the big thing. That is why I have been skeptical of airdrops over the years, guys, because there's no investment. You can't just imagine value. You're not the Fed. You're not the Fed. You can't just imagine value. So when things are free, I'm weary because nothing is free. Nothing is free. Nothing that has value is free, is what it is. I'm way too negative about pie. Hey, I was fair. I was fair to Jindrix tricks. And again, this is honestly, if you have looked over my years of speaking about altcoins, that was actually pretty positive. That's pretty positive. Love is free. That's true. But love also, it doesn't have a direct value. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It only becomes available in 2027. I have no idea, bro. To be honest, that's probably true. It's like mainnet's launched, but you can't move it for another 2 years or something. And then they'll know it. Oh, that would be bad, actually. That would be ruggy. All right, so they launched the mainnet. You can't move the tokens for 2 years. So then the owners or the creators, the devs, whatever, right? They start a market. They get it listed on some shitter exchange, get it on MEXC, let's say. They drive the price up when no one else can move their coins. Then once the unlock, or once you can move them, happens, then that's the rug. So people buy into it because they think, oh, it's been going up and whatever, and then it unlocks and it crashes. That would be a big rug. That'd be bad. That would be bad. I actually have not heard that. TBD. You guys probably know more than me. Pi Network, go see how big the community is. Trust me, brother, you're preaching to a guy who has been live on YouTube since 2019, certainly every week, but almost every day. I have seen this go from day one, basically, to today. I've watched this whole journey. And in their defense, I literally said, they haven't rugged. There isn't really anything to rug. And so in that sense, it puts it ahead of like many of these altcoins that we talk about in projects. That's positive for me, man. It's hard to get a positive comment about altcoins out of Tom Crown, I'll tell you what. What's up, Drain the Swamp? Chris, we have 13 minutes. 13 minutes until the notes are out. We're going to break them down for you here. It's shady. It is shady. But I will admit it's gotten less shady over the years because years and years have gone by and there's been no issue. At first, I was really worried it was some kind of Trojan, some kind of like device hijacking thing. But that apparently isn't the case unless it's a real long con. Real long con. I don't know. Sonic Boom. What's up, Alexis K? BitBoy had another meltdown. Oh God, Alchemist. So you guys know I don't really talk shit on people directly. You know, I've had a long, complicated relationship with Ben Armstrong. He helped us out in the earliest times of our channel. I was on his shows a bunch. Yeah, he did have quite an event. You know, I hope the guy gets help. I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope he can make amends for the people that he's hurt in his time. And, you know, I hope he can restart his life. That's all I'm going to say. But if you haven't seen the meltdown, I would check it out. It's quite interesting. Then what was the guy? Someone made like a 45-minute documentary on it already, and it's perfect. Like, as someone who knows Ben personally, it hits so many things on the head. You should check that out. What's that? I think the channel's UE or something. Something like that. Do I have your attention now? You have your attention now. What's up, Tom from Belgium? How you doing, brother? What's happening? What is happening? Now! Upper Echelon. That's it, Pickle. Upper Echelon. That guy made an awesome video about it where he breaks it down, timestamps. And like I said, as someone who's personally known and been involved with Ben Armstrong on a personal level, not just like watching his videos, like knowing the real guy, he really does nail it. I think he really nailed it. Like, I'm not saying 100% of it's correct because that's, you know, nothing's like that certain, but damn, he nails a lot of it. Ben Coin, yes, relevant. Thank you, Bajorn. Ben Coin, delisted from MEXC. I guess that's a complete rug pull. Rug pull complete. Yeah, Paul, you know, I don't, it's just not our style. Would we be bigger as a channel? Would we get more views? Would we get more rage bait, more drama clicks if I did? Yeah, but it's just not me, dude. I'm like Bitcoin. I do me. I worry about me and my community. And outside of that, I pay very little attention. Even when it is to my advantage, I pay very little attention to it. Upper Echelon, yes. Upper Echelon, that's correct. How's Professor Beans? Excellent. She turned 13 last week. She's doing great. Doing great. Hello from Serbia. How you doing, Serbia? Shout out to Serbia. What's up, Total Dom? Mindful Repetition, Dog Army Assemble. How is Dog doing? You know, Dog is something as far as altcoins go, it's like higher on the altcoin hierarchy for me. It's hard to be an altcoin in Tom Crown's eyes. Not a great chart. Not a wonderful chart here, Dog. You could look at it two ways. You could say, man, it's cheap. It's cheap. 3x back to a penny. Or you could say this chart looks pretty bad. I would say this chart looks pretty bad, but in its defense, and this defense goes to pretty much every coin right now that is not Bitcoin. Everything looks like shit, man. This is not unique. This is it. At least it hasn't broken August's low, as some coins have. It did set an all-time high in December. I wonder what this looks like on the year. On the year doesn't look so bad. There's your hopium. Dog Army, there's your hopium. Look at the yearly candle. It's fine. It's fine, bro. Speaking of an altcoin, we have 9 minutes. Don't worry, I'm watching the clock till the minutes are out. We have 9 minutes until the minutes. We have 9 minutes till the minutes, but one altcoin that is doing pretty well, and I'm gonna brush my shoulders off a little bit here. I could shield this every day of my life, but I don't. One coin that's not doing too bad. Well. Oh, welly, Wellerson. Well. Litecoin, my baby. Not doing too shabby. Are all our dreams coming true right now in this moment about Litecoin? I wish I could say that. Probably not, but here is the takeaway for me on this chart. Litecoin holding up significantly better. than almost everything in this market outside of Bitcoin. I'm sure you can name a chart somewhere, but guys, this is like the best looking chart outside of Bitcoin, in my opinion. Look at this. Look at this. Huge swing low this month already. Traded all the way down to about $80, now back to $135. This, what I like about this, and obviously see through my bias, because you guys know I have been a fan of Litecoin throughout all of this time, and not much has happened. I still stand by it. Look at just how different this looks versus the rest of the market. Litecoin is up at its December high still. It has traded low. It swept liquidity, whatever. Broken structure in ways, lower highs, lower lows. But look at where it is. Go pull up any other chart. Like we just looked at dog, right? Look at dog on the day. Not trying to compare these two, but this is what most things look like right now. Look at Litecoin. This is showing strength. You can say, okay, ETF, you know, whatever, catalysts. I'm not a big fan of thinking that way in crypto. Here's how I see this chart. This is what I think is happening. This is some alpha on the Litecoin from a Litecoiner. This is what I think is truly happening. Litecoin has had an unspectacular many years, similar to XRP. Remember when I was yelling about that? I'm still yelling about it. I'm still yelling about it. Just not as much. You can't yell about the same things every day. It just gets boring. It gets weird. I'll show you again. Similar to XRP. Let's pull this up. Right? This looked very similar. I think it still does. Minus XRP got the pop here. Litecoin, I think the pop's loading. I was saying these are very similar. And I think in the same sense, here's what they have going for them. We could say ETF or whatnot. I don't think that's relevant. What I really think is that Litecoin has been so unspectacular since 2017. I think that simply every sellers of all resorts are gone. If you are in this coin, if you are someone like me who still holds any Litecoin, they're not going anywhere. You might not be buying more Litecoin. So I'm not saying that there's necessarily this buying pressure that exists. What I'm saying is that in a market there is buying and selling pressure, and essentially the sum of them dictates which way the market goes. There is just very little selling pressure, if any. I don't think that people held the last 3 years, through $50, hitting these lows over and over and over again, barely breaking 100. I don't think that they held through this to just sell right here. I think that they would have capitulated. I think that's really what it is. It isn't necessarily some massive buying force, right? It's more that the selling side is capitulated. There's just no one left to sell. You would have already. Especially with a wick like this, man. Anyone who jumped in on December's rally, you're right back out in February. You're right back out. You bought at 135, you sold at 90 or 80. Right back up to 135. I'm keeping an eye on Litecoin, as I always do, and always probably will do. Certainly does not look great in the Bitcoin pair. I'm hoping that is very slowly changing. I think that's too early to really call, but I think that there is some hope here. This is Litecoin against Bitcoin. This is the reason I've been bearish or not bullish on Ethereum recently, is that this pair was weak. Litecoin coming back up, retesting those December highs in Bitcoin pair and in price. In USD. A break of 0014 right here. Let me set an alert. I know I have one, but I'll set it again. Break of December's high against the BTC pair. And I'm not going to say going back to all-time highs, right? That is a long journey. But I think reasonably, maybe you look to move back to the top of this channel, right? You've been in this channel for a long time. Back up here. That's significant. Let's see. 65% gain against Bitcoin. So that means if Bitcoin didn't move at all in dollar value, Litecoin to move from 135 to like 210, something like that. Maybe a little higher. 225, 250. I think that's reasonable. There's probably an argument to be made that there's more upside, but I'm just going to be very reasonable until we see a real break, a convincing move. I'm applying the same standard to Litecoin that I am to Ethereum right now. That doesn't look bad though. 4 months in a row, looking to close green again. Fingers crossed. Real quick here, we have 4 minutes to go before the minutes are published. That's a tongue twister. Make sure you guys are smashing the like, subscribing. We're about to jump into the FOMC minutes shortly. Let's see what we can just cover in between then and now. Bitcoin CME. We have a CME gap at 97.5. That extends down to 97.2. If you're looking for inter-month short in February, 97.5 might be for you. I think there's a good chance of price reaching into this gap. If you're looking for a rejection and lower lows like Jam Bell, who was calling the top earlier, maybe he's looking to take a position there. That's looking pretty juicy. Dominance having a little bit of a time today. Not as strong performance as yesterday, but I did tweet. You can follow me on Twitter at @TomCrownCrypto. I did tweet that I've been telling you, I don't think dominance is done. Been saying this honestly before we even hit 60. But after we hit 60, I said I don't think it's done. I think we have higher to go. 60, everyone's looking at. I think we're gonna move up here into this zone. Last week or the week before, we had a great rally, breaking up to 64%. That sold off, and people pretty much thought that was it. Dominance high is in. I disagree. Here's what I think is going on here. Our 60% high at the end of last year acted as resistance. Got a little shakeout. We have broken to a higher high, and I think this move is simply the back test of that resistance as support, and I think we're looking for higher highs. I think that altcoin season, whenever it happens, and I think it's silly that people are thinking it'll never happen now, whenever it happens, I think it will be ushered in with a move into this zone. Will it go higher than 66? I don't know. Will it go higher than 74? I don't know, but it's definitely possible. Who knows? Who knows? But I think it will be ushered in by a blow off top in dominance, meaning a move up, a capitulation, a blow off top, maybe a little consolidation as dominance moves down. Altcoins kind of drink that blood back up before the next move, and an inevitable crash down on dominance. I think this is what it's going to look like. But I think we have to push through a little bit more pain before we get to the promised land on dominance. I don't think we're there yet. Old news. Wait, what's the old news? Stone. Hard to have any alt season anymore since the alts are trash and dilutive. M Stone, I could have made that argument last cycle. In fact, I did make that argument last cycle. I think, I'm not calling you lazy, but I just think it's like a lazy take. I'm not saying you. I think you're a great analyst. You're a smart guy, Stone. You're an OG of this community. But a lot of people saying stuff like that, I think they're just having lazy takes. Yes, there are a bajillion more alts now, but dude, how many were there last time? Like last cycle, there were still so many. It was a magnitude smaller, but I don't think it matters how many there are, right? It doesn't get evenly, the value doesn't evenly spread out between them. It like accumulates in little bursts as like one starts to run, everything chases it, it blows off, and then it resets back down, and that money rotates elsewhere as risk seeking increases. I think that's really what it is there just hasn't been, or maybe the risk seeking has been consumed by all of the rugs. I don't know. It's just not time, in my opinion. There certainly will be a time where we call alt season again. I just do not believe that is loading right now. Not until we see a blow off top here. Not until we see a move that somewhat mirrors this. It won't look exactly the same, but somewhat mirrors what we saw into the last cycle. This is one of the missing pieces. Boom, blow off top, come back down, kind of do a little distribution here before the breakdown, and then this is the alt season. It's silly that this was the laziest take, the people calling alt season over the last few years. It's just late. You know what? Benjamin Cohen is completely right. It is just influencers who are getting allocations and coins, trying to pump them, convincing you guys that there was alt season. There was never alt season. Definitively, there was never alt season. Dominance started rallying at the bottom, November of 22. It never trended back down. It's only trended up. That's the laziest take, that we've been in one. We just haven't seen one. And the more that the sentiment kind of seems to capitulate over alts, the more I'm convinced that we will see one. The fact that people are like, there'll never be an alt season again. Remember, guys, every cycle, there's a moment where people say two things. They say, why would I be in Bitcoin? I should be all in on alts. There's so much more gains, blah, blah, blah. That's typically when they're running. And then there's always a time where people say, why am I in alts? Bitcoin's the only thing that goes up. I should be all in Bitcoin. And typically when either of those statements are made, you're looking at a top or a bottom, or at least close to a top or a bottom of kind of that swing of capital. Anyway, the Fed FOMC minutes are published. It's time to get to minuting. Calendar minutes. Remember last month? Shout out to whoever helped me last month. Last month, I opened this up and started doing one from like 2019. And I almost, God, without that person, someone was like, that's 2019. Without them, I probably would have spent 45 minutes in my own little zone just going over 2019's notes. So here they are, the minutes of the Federal Open Market Committee, January 28th to 29th, 2025, confirmed. I'm going to use Grok, honestly. In my opinion of Elon Musk. Oh, my neck. One sec. There we go. My opinion of Elon Musk has been more volatile than Bitcoin lately over the years. However, I will give it to him. Grok, the newest Grok, actually seems to spit some facts. Seems to actually work. So we're going to use Grok this time instead of ChatGPT. I'm going to type her in. Here we go. Hype it up. I wonder if I can do the whole article now. You know what? I'll do it in front of you. Summarize the most recent FOMC minutes summary from January 2025. Include any important points. I don't know. Here is the text. Let's see if we can do the whole thing, because ChatGPT cries because it's like, that's too much text. I can't do it. I wonder if Grok will let me do all this text, especially because I have Twitter Premium. I wonder if it'll let me. No one voted against it. Unanimous. Let's see. All right. There we go. That proof. I'll give it to him. His Grok is good. He's got the good Grok. 66% seems to be the consensus. Jim Kennedy, no. No, now I have to say above 75. Because we were looking on this channel since, I don't know, actually, I want to say since early 21 or 22 to see dominance return to 60. Then everyone started calling for 60, and I said, I kind of don't think 60 will be the height. Subbed because of the sunglasses. What's up, Godwin? Yeah, we have 2,200 live viewers right now tuned in for the summary, for the FOMC minutes right here, right now. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Please return your Hurley cap. No, Sebastian. Honestly, Hurley as a company, I remember them doing like skateboard stuff as a kid, but this hat, I don't know. You know, you find a hat and it just fits. This hat just fits. It's like the right shape for my head. That's what I appreciate about it. That's what I appreciate about you. What's up, Fahad? Barogues, 2K viewers. I know, wild. We're wildin'. When are they voting on the debt limit? Tom G. You know, that's a question that I might even have to ask Grok here, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how this works. So the debt ceiling is going to be increased 4 trillion. Isn't that like by almost definition going to be quantitative easing? Like, isn't that money just going to have to be printed by the Fed? Like, it's not coming through taxes. I don't know. You like the video already? Thank you, Salim. You're here all the time, brother. I appreciate you. Get to the summarizing, says Rare Earth. All right. Views on gold. We can look at gold. What's up, Dashty? Shafia. You're tuned in, and we're about to break down the FOMC minutes. They just came out 5 minutes ago, and we're going to cover them right here, right now. When are you getting your Doge check? Remind me about that in a minute, Stone. All right, key points. The committee began reviewing its monetary policy framework, focusing on the statement on longer run goals and monetary policy strategy, communications practices, while reiterating its 2% inflation goal, meaning just the same intro paragraph said by Chair Powell every single time we hear him speak. Let me make sure this isn't just summarizing it as a summary of it, in the sense of outlining the points of it and not actually talking about the points. Okay, seems like we're all right. The review was informed by the 2019-20 framework review, prompted by persistent low inflation and the risk to federal funds rate hitting the effective lower band. The 2020 update. Wait a minute. Tom must have a K-shaped head. John Doe. This is like one of the only times I've ever worn this hat, so like I don't know. You know what my head looks like. Wait, why did it say 2020? Now I'm suspicious. Okay. That's weird. What? Okay, let's get in here. Okay, because they're just referencing that the environment hasn't shifted since COVID. Okay. Inflationary pressures prompted consideration and revisions of the statement, blah, blah. Growth. Real GDP grew solidly in 2024. Consumer spending driving momentum despite a slowdown in trade growth. Conditions stabilized in the labor market with an unemployment rate. Oh, let's pull this over. We'll have like a chart up in the background. Conditions stabilized with an unemployment rate of 4.1% in December. Yes, indeed. Which caused markets to crap themselves. Solid payroll gains averaging 170,000 jobs monthly in Q4 and a job vacancies to unemployed ratio of 1.2, signaling a balanced labor market. The one thing that Chairman Powell has been very consistent with is signaling that the labor market is strong and remains strong, and he is right. Did you guys notice, though, he used to say that the banking system was robust and resilient and strong a lot? He hasn't been saying that so much lately. Just pay attention to little things. That's what we're here for. PCE inflation, 2.4% in November, 2.6% estimated for December, and core PCE was 2.8%, both down from a year ago, but above their 2% target. Recent monthly data showed progress towards their 2% target, though there was more evidence needed to draw a sustained conclusion of disinflation. That's not exactly what some of these numbers said, but those numbers might have come out after this FOMC. Now that I think about it, a lot of the hotter inflation data has come out in this month, and none of the FOMC in January would have been privy to that data yet, nor included it in their reasoning. Longer-term Treasury yields, I'll go there, rose 15 to 20 basis points over the intermeeting period, reflecting higher real-term premiums and uncertainty about policy rate path. Inflation compensation edged up, but remained consistent with a return to 2%. Equity prices declined slightly. Credit spreads remained tight. They always say that. And the dollar rose modestly. Let's pull this up. Our dollar prediction coming very true here. Market expectations aligned with a 25 basis point cut in 2025, though survey respondents anticipated a later start to easing, which is what we saw in January. We have not seen that easing begin. Do they have the dot plot on here? Obviously, Grok won't have caught it. Dot. No. No mention of the dot plot. That's sad. On the minutes at all. The December 24 cut of 25 points and a 5 basis point adjustment to the overnight repurchase RRP rate passed through smoothly on money markets, maintaining orderly conditions. Seems like smooth sailing is the highlight of this so far. And I guess that reflects no change pretty well, right? Typically you change rates when the sailing is not smooth. The committee kept the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%, viewing the stance as still restrictive, but less so after recent easing. Balance sheet runoff continued, and the Treasury agencies secured reductions ongoing. Participants emphasized a data-dependent approach with no preset path for future rate changes. They sought further inflation progress before additional cuts. Good luck. Good luck. Does anyone here, can we start a new poll? 1,500 votes. Hell yeah. Save us, Chairman Powell. We're going to start a poll here real quick. Do you think inflation metrics will cool into Q2 of 2025? Yes. Inflation is reducing, going away. No, inflation is getting hotter. I wonder how many people are going to say yes. And I don't know, see results. Like, does anyone realistically think that inflation is actually cooling? I don't. I haven't noticed anything. It seems like gas, video games, and what was the other one? You know, the other one, cigarettes. I feel like cigarettes, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I feel like cigarettes haven't increased in price in like a decade, at least compared to everyday goods. There we go. Vote in the poll here. Let's continue through summarizing our notes of the FOMC from January, getting in that alpha. Outlook and risks. Inflation expected to move towards a 2% target with the restrictive policy, easing wage growth and anchored expectations through potential trade policy shifts, and strong demand posed upside risks. The labor market anticipated to remain solid, though close monitoring is warranted. Productivity gains and balanced supply-demand dynamics reduced inflationary pressures from labor. Supported by consumer spending, household wealth, and business optimism, economic activity though financial strains on lower income households and policy were uncertainty were concerns. Vulnerabilities were notable in financial stability, with elevated asset valuations, moderate business household debt risks, and high leverage in parts of the financial sector. That's interesting. i.e. hedge funds, banks, long duration assets. Balance sheet and operational considerations. So when we're almost done with this summary, I'm going to ask it to try to do more specifics about the balance sheet. I'm curious because that's really where our attention is. We've been watching these interest rates for years. They have been very exciting as far as the Fed is concerned, exciting. But I feel like our attention now is starting to shift towards the quantitative tightening and easing more so than the interest rate hikes. Now, that might be because of Benjamin Cohen. That might be because it is one of the two tools the Fed has. And it doesn't really feel like they're going to be changing interest rates anytime soon. Despite saying, the plan a year ago was to have more cuts, it doesn't feel like we're going to. Keep answering in that poll. That might give us some good information here. We'll see what you guys think. All right, post runoff, the committee discussed aligning the System Open Market Account, or SOMA, portfolio's maturity composition with outstanding Treasury debt. Scenarios varied in speed and Treasury bill shares. I want more details. The debt ceiling dynamics, here we go. And that was the other thing I want. Specifics on debt ceiling dynamics. Could affect reserves, potentially warranting a pause or slowing of runoff. A pause? Ooh. Or slowing of runoff. Okay. Enhancements to the standing repo facility were also considered. The committee unanimously maintained the federal funds rate range and reaffirmed its commitment to maximum employment and 2% inflation. It directed the New York Fed to continue open market operations and balance sheet reductions as outlined. So in conclusion, after all that, what did we really hear? The January 2025 FOMC minutes reflect a cautious yet optimistic stance, with the committee balancing solid economic performance against persistent inflation pressures. The ongoing framework reviewed signals of adaptability, while the decision to hold rates steady underscores a wait-and-see approach amid uncertainties, including potential policy shifts. That was one of the things we were looking for before this started, is kind of any communication, any reaction, anything that has to do with the current presidential administration and the Fed. But it seems that there were thoughts included in this about it. Maybe we'll ask for more details from Grok. Including potential policy shifts, the focus remains on data-driven. Yes, of course. So tell me more about let's go debt ceiling. Now let's go. Tell me more about any signals to changes in quantitative tightening. Let's see. Might just be bullshitting here. Ooh, cool. This is what I wanted. This is not a relationship I totally understand. I assume I know how it works, but especially when it comes to the Fed and the U.S. government and kind of capital at this quantity, I don't want to assume. I want to know if I speak to you guys about it. And that's the debt ceiling versus essentially the money supply, essentially quantitative easing and tightening. Let me just see what this says. So the minutes note that reserves might decline quickly upon resolution of the debt limit, and at the current pace of balance sheet runoff, might potentially reach levels below those viewed by the committee as appropriate. Additionally, various participants noted that it may be appropriate to consider pausing or slowing balance sheet runoff until the resolution of this event. So I'm going to need your help here, chat. Show us that text. Yeah, sure. So I'm going to need your help here. So here, pausing or slowing of the balance sheet runoff. This should suggest not exactly quantitative easing, but a reduction or a pause or slowdown of quantitative tightening. Correct? I'm trying to figure out how that can be true, and then also debt ceiling dynamics, like how they come into play. Powell speaks once a month, roughly TG. The FOMC is like 10 times a year, so almost every month, but then Chair Powell speaks, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen times a year outside of the FOMC, so maybe a little bit more than once a month. You thought Powell was going to speak today? No, Jets. We have, it's 3 weeks in March, 3 weeks. What you know keeps you away from what you don't know. It's deep. It's deep. What's up, JJ Giddy? We got a whole bunch of new names here. Pause. A pause would be good. So a pause to this would be a pause to quantitative tightening. It would not be quantitative easing, but it'd be a pause to quantitative tightening. It's step one before they raise interest rates. I honestly don't doubt. I don't doubt that that's the direction this ship is heading right now. At least if you were going to pick, are we going towards cuts or hikes? I would assume the ship is starting to veer towards hikes. Doesn't mean we're going to get a hike, but the ship is, I think the winds are starting to fill the sails that way. He's just lying. What are they lying about? Do you guys understand the level of restructuring that's underway? The butthole is on the deck of the Titanic making proclamations. Buckle up, buy quality assets. Powell is done, says 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. Interesting. Lars, what's going on, man? I don't know what you get. I don't know what people are saying here. All right, here's the text. What's the bottom line? Do we have good news or bad news for the corn? I mean, we had no interest rate change. The minutes largely reflected that. I think, again, kind of go into cuts or hikes. If you had to pick one, I think we're veering towards hikes. I think if you have to pick good or bad, I think we're veering towards bad, at least when it comes to the Fed. Veering towards. Context, the U.S. debt ceiling situation introduces uncertainty about Treasury cash flows and reserve levels in the banking system. A resolution, raising the debt ceiling, could lead to a sudden issuance of Treasury securities. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted. Reducing reserves as banks and investors purchase them. If reserves fall too low, it could strain money market conditions, a scenario the Fed aims at avoiding by maintaining abundant reserves. It does not seem like they maintain abundant reserves. Implication, this is a clear signal the FOMC is attentive, which I guess is good, to reserve scarcity risks tied to external factors like the debt ceiling. A pause or slowdown, so that, here we go. It reiterated what I set up here. A pause or slowdown to quantitative tightening could be implemented to prevent reserves from dropping below a comfortable threshold. Okay. Suggesting flexibility in the pace of the runoff rather than an abrupt end. Okay. The manager has observed a range of indicators continued to suggest that reserves had remained abundant over the intermittent period. Yeah, but why would you have concerns about reserves right now? The debt limit situation may cloud. Fed has been reducing its balance sheets, so it has been quantitative tightening since mid-2022, which is interesting because that's right before the bottom of markets. Weird. Right before the bottom of markets. With monthly caps of $25 billion for Treasury securities, $35 billion for agency debt, mortgage-backed securities. The goal is to shrink the balance sheet without disrupting financial markets. Guided by the principle of keeping reserves ample, however, the exact level of ample reserves remains uncertain, of course. Possible alternative strategies for Treasury purchases after quantitative tightening concludes. Here we go. This is spicy. Scenarios redirecting principal payments from agency debt and MBS into Treasury securities. Many participants expressed the view that it would be appropriate to structure purchases in a way that moved the maturity composition to the SOMA portfolio closer to that of the outstanding stock of Treasury debt. Wow, that's too many words. Quantitative tightening is expected to end when the balance sheet reaches a size consistent with ample reserves. So what is that? Nobody knows. It's another one of those, we're waiting for the datas, right? We'll stop as soon as reserves are ample. Well, then, Chair Powell, when are they ample? Couldn't tell you. When they're ample, then we'll know. Forward-looking signal suggests the Fed is preparing to wind down QT. Okay, so that's solid. You know, I was saying, is it good or is it bad? I think it's going towards bad, or at least veering towards bad from good. quantitative tightening to be winding down in the next 6 to 12 months is good. That is a definitive-ish goalpost of 6 to 12 months with a good target. A good target being quantitative tightening ending. Anything else here? That's just saying the same thing over again. Seems to be the same. Broader interpretation. The most explicit signal is the potential pause or slowing of the runoff. Good. So we nailed that. We were right. Tied to the debt ceiling resolution. Likely a near-term consideration within months, depending on legislative outcomes. Post-runoff planning and focus on market stability suggests a possible tapering of monthly caps as reserves near a critical level, aligning with mid-2025 timeline. So this is actually saying maybe closer than 6 to 12 months. Discussion of post-QT strategies indicates the committee's views. Okay, so the discussion of post-quantitative tightening strategies, I think alone is a solid indicator, right? They weren't talking about this. Now they are. It's interesting. Oh, God, what's going on in the comments? What's going on in the comments? We have a hell of a lot of viewers today. I like it. You guys are tuned in. Check this out. We rocketed. I don't know why YouTube does this. Like, why do I have data for 24 hours before this stream? Anyway, rocketed. We hit how many? Bullish on this channel, my friends. 2,200 viewers. Hell yeah. For a Wednesday, let's go. If you're new here, say hello. I've been a little locked in the zone. Doing the minutes, doing my thing, but I'm coming out. My ADD is releasing me a little bit here. If you're new here, say hello. Make sure you subscribe. No, that's not when I scheduled it, Mark. See, that would make sense. I literally scheduled this 5 hours ago, 4 hours ago. That would make sense. You're right. You're a thinker, Mark, but it's nope. I don't know. It just does that. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, TG? Where'd you guys come from? Where are all these new people from? I just came to say hello. 3 years of experience here. What's up, Pat? Bullish on complicated words. Novocaine. Good to see you. Bud Monster, you're new. Nice Bud Monster. Welcome to the fam. When does the conference start, Mr. Nobody? The conference? The FOMC? 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? Let me get the exact date. It's like 3 weeks, 5 days, 6 hours, 6 weeks, 10 weeks. No, it's 6 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 days, 22 hours. That's when Chairman Powell speaks next. This is the FOMC minutes, which is indicated on the thumbnail and the title. And yeah, I'm not trying to deceive you guys. We will cover the FOMC in 3 weeks, 6 days. We will cover it, as we always do. This channel, for those of you tuning in, we invented the FOMC stream here. You can go back on our channel. We were doing this for years. We were doing this before any news outlet, mainstream media, or even really other YouTube channel covered it. Then they stole our idea, and that's okay, I guess. It's okay simply because there's nothing I can do about it. Being salty doesn't do shit. But we've been covering it for years. We're going to be covering it every single month that it's out. You can tune in there in 3 weeks, 6 days. Channel just popped in my feed. All right, Erickson. Cool. Awesome. I'm glad there's new names. It has been a graveyard for new people. Meeting is March 19th. Thank you, Stone. I could be the next Powell. Thank you, Jan. Tom Powell, my alter ego. I agree. I think I should be the next chair. Someone send the stream here, maybe. You got trade blockage. You're so mentally tired. Matthias Fernando Gate, dude, that is the realest, man. That is what I think is happening here. That's what I think is like, I want to say intentional, but like, whose intent, right? The big boys. I think that's intentional with this price action. This is the most boring Bitcoin price action I have ever seen in a bull run. This is more boring, in my opinion, than even some of this. No, than some of this, I think. I think it's more boring than some of this. I think this is like peak boring. And it's because everything is lined up here. Like time-wise, we should be right here in Q1. We should be seeing all-time highs. So we can't lose sight that we did see all-time highs in Q1. Yeah, that was January 20th, Inauguration Day. I'm going to say, guys, I told you so. All through November, all through December, everyone was asking, Tom, what happens in Inauguration Day? What happens when Trump gets president? I say, guys, it isn't related to Trump specifically. But no matter what happens, whatever direction the market is trending in, we're going to see it reverse. Like, that's just what we see on these big scheduled in-your-face events. Everyone was so bullish on it. We ran up to all-time highs literally like the night before. Inauguration Day comes and we just trend down. Good news, though, we haven't really broken any market structure. As ugly and boring as this is, nothing bad has really happened. You can look at it this way in a much simpler view is we had our run up into November and December. We were painting higher lows, higher highs. In January, before all-time high, we did break some market structure here. But then we quickly went on to make a new all-time high. So we have a higher high into a higher low. And at the moment, as long as our low holds, we're just trending up still. It's just a really painful, ugly way to trend up. It's not super characteristic of Bitcoin. The problem is timing-wise, this is when we should see, at least, looking at the last few cycles, this is when we should see some real moves. You look back to the previous cycles, like Q1 of 21, this was beast mode. From Q4 of 2020 into Q1 of 21, this is beast mode time. It doesn't really feel like we're in beast mode, does it? Doesn't really feel like it. You go back to the cycle before that, you have to look at, what is it, Q1 of 17? We were in beast mode, right? Something feels weird here. Now, people are saying it has to do with quantitative easing, quantitative tightening. Maybe it does. Sure. That could be a factor. That could be the exact reason. I don't know. We can look at total crypto market cap and say, all right, we didn't really even start the bull run until November of 2024, until Q4 of last year. It wouldn't make sense, according to any of our history, that the top would be in, that the run will be over here. This is like when we expect it to be heating up. If it were to repeat exactly as we've seen it before, we would expect Q1 to be very spicy, very hot, lots of all-time highs, lots of volatile upward price action, probably a strong pullback or two as well, spooky pullbacks, into a boring Q2 and Q3 over the summer, like we saw last year, boring, like we saw even in 21, boring, summer, nothing happened. And then a blow off top, end of bull run, end of cycle Q4. Time-wise, we're right where we should be. Price-wise, I want to say we're kind of right where we should be too, but volatility-wise, it seems like we're way down. Way, way, way down. The only kind of piece of this puzzle outside of quantitative tightening and easing that doesn't add up, that doesn't really fall in line here, is dominance. Bitcoin dominance does not look like its previous cycles. Maybe I'll scratch that. Let me rephrase. Bitcoin dominance looks the way it looked before the all-time high was broken in the last cycle. Or it looks like it could be painting that or getting close to that, which is odd because here is the previous all-time high break, 20K, whatever. It's back in like December of 2020, and that led into alt season. We broke our all-time high in Bitcoin technically in March, right? In March of last year. So back here, and dominance has not stopped. This is the only piece that doesn't really line up. It's weird. I think that's why we feel so blue balls and so edged. If you missed earlier in the stream when this stream started, I was talking about dominance and this potential move where we see dominance break to a new high. I think potentially breaking last cycle's high before capitulating, maybe doing a little distribution and falling into alt season. Ignore how much time this takes. I'm just doodling so you get an idea. And basically what would happen, it would end up looking just like this, right? You break a high, you hang out there, you dump into alt season. This is where alts are crazy. And then we restart the cycle into the bear market. The weird part though, is this is like lagging or I don't know, delayed by all purpose or by all like means. This should have already been done. It just isn't, right? By March of last year, we would have expected that because that's what's happened in the past. That's not what's happening now. So it seems like we're in something that's at least a little different. If the blow off top scenario happens, this will end up looking very similar and maybe it won't be that different looking in hindsight. I don't know. Shit's weird. Shit's weird. A lot of alts bottomed 3 to 6 months before Bitcoin bottomed. Huh. When, Neil? What are you referring to? You mean like in January of this year? In August of last year? You're talking about bear market bottom? It's Phantom Sonic. You know what, Doug? I have been looking kind of at that chart. So FTM, I think you're talking about FTM. FTM rebranded to Sonic. And I won't even rant. I won't even rant about how I hate when things do that. It feels sketchy. It feels skeezy. It feels scammy. But I've been watching this chart. It's interesting. There's not a lot of data because it has only traded under the ticker S for, since January. At least on Binance. I don't know what the full history is. Let's see if we can find one. What I would really like is a chart that takes FTM's price data and then adds the now traded S, right? So that we could look at the past history. This is why I think it's kind of shady, is because it distorts the chart. And I feel as if, what is the reason you would distort a chart? I think the only reason is because you're trying to be shady. I don't know. I guess USD is not it. Oops. SUSD. S Tether. Binance. CoinEx. I was hoping there's a longer history, but nope. SUSD. This is it. Maybe like, I bet they all started trading at the same time. Should you start stockpiling eggs? I'm all in on eggs, Mr. Days. All in on the eggs. Phantom. FTM. Yes, but now it's Sonic. There is no FTM. Now FTM is gone. Phantom. Wait. Didn't they change? I'm so confused. Okay, they did. Hey! Wait. This is the history. Right? This doesn't look right, though. Something looks weird here. They're at the same price. That's confidence boosting. Something feels weird. Though I might just be kind of like brain messed up. Brain effed from the ticker change and the chart change. Because they got rid of all my charts. I don't like that. I don't like when people get rid of mess with my charts, Only I mess with my charts. Dollar. I have to go back and look for screenshots. FTM still works. That's fine. FTM Maxi is salty. I mean, FTM Maxi is I'm pretty close to that. Are in a perpetual state of salt. But no, I don't think they're currently very salty. I think they're actually at kind of cycle lows for salt. I think they're getting right back up on their high horses. Huh. Well, that's annoying. It ruined all my charts, yet the ticker still works. Okay. Dollar looks good. On the FTM, what do you think? Deep retracement there. I could see it back to $1. Probably gotta reject at 82 cents for a while first. Look for a higher low than for $1. 82 cents from 72 on FTM. All my alerts are gone now on this as well, which is annoying to me. Okay. This is not super spectacular. I will say better than some of the charts that we've looked at. You have higher highs and higher lows since 22. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It looks like if you break 150, you're going back to all-time high, which is 335. Doesn't look bad. To do Bitcoin. What to do about Bitcoin? 2025. Here we go. What? Dude, TradingView, you're silly, TradingView. This isn't even it. Where is it? Where is it? May. Oh, TradingView. Just struggling. Here we go. Bitcoin February 2025. Here we are. Here we go. Back to the real. Back to the corn. Nothing has happened. One thing I noticed, solid 12-hour close yesterday. Daily close was not quite perfect, but this 12 hour is pretty intense. A lot of red. Yesterday traded down to the yearly open 93,350. Remember, that is my February close line in the sand. We closed below 93,350, and I think that we probably have a lot more pain into the first half of this year. But a touch, that is the fourth time, I believe, we have traded down below that level, making the yearly candle temporarily red. Nice response into the 12-hour close. Even looks like there's been decent follow-up over the last 12 to 20 hours here. What do we got? Right back to 96.5. 96.5 would be the more bullish close, obviously, for February. This would, a close above on the monthly would give us a beautiful back test, support, resistance flipping to support, fair value gap tested, support held, set up into March. You can see here, January's open, right there, yearly open. This would be 96.5. December's open. This is the fair value gap in the 3-candle setup. Anything here and obviously above 102 would be a great setup into March. So things are very boring, but they certainly are not cooked. They're so much more boring than cooked, actually. So much more boring than cooked. Let's see. What time is it? 2:38. It's been a good stream. I missed some subscribers. What is up, my friend Pramod? Mag subscribed. Prakash. Mean Gene 1980. We're getting back there. Some of these people probably aren't here anymore. Dylan McGraw. Sivaraju. Tommy Dimes. Great name. Jesse Gilu. Jesse super chatted £250 just at FOMC. What's up, Jesse? Klondike Hunter. Stephen Muthama. Andy Welsh. We got a lot of new names here. Jay Bainey. Supernovas. Klondike Hunter became a member. Nice. Alkessa. What's up, bro? Actually, a lot of new subscribers. Let's go. This is the best stream we've had in a while. What time is FOMC minutes, Daniel? We have gone over them. We already did them. I'm sorry. I love you. Watching from Martius, bro. What's up? What's up, trading lover? Tommy Dimes is a great name. What's up from India? Shout out to India. What happened? Not the most, the biggest. I'd say like the biggest things that were in it is basically the discussion of quantitative tightening coming to an end. That would be for me the biggest part. You subscribed? That's right, Mean Gene. I see you. And Q is a nice trend. You know, I forgot. I was in the zone here. Thanks for reminding me. You know, NQ I'm sure is reflecting it too, but S&P hit an all-time high today. S&P a little bit ahead of NQ, huh? NQ still struggling here at an intra-month high. Wait, what? Yeah. Oh, this is on the hourly. I thought we're on the day. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah, still struggling here. Back at last year's high. But that is a solid uptrend. This looks like the bear market bottom. This looks like 2022. Of course, over a much smaller period of time. I'm losing my voice. S&P at all-time highs today. Just like silently at all-time highs. The rest of the markets don't seem to care. Nothing much going on. But S&P trading at 6.1 thousand. Reaching up to our 6.147 or 6.150 target. Look at this. Look at this. As soon as the all-time high broke in 2023 in December, we got our 1618 at 5,600 target hit. Dude, these fib levels, man, these extensions just, they slap. Like, look at this. This is the 1618. All-time high broken. S&P 500 runs to where? The 1618 has its first major retracement. Runs back to the 618, higher low, breaks, and where does it go? Where does it go? It runs right to, God, I'm having trouble manipulating the chart, right to our measured move target right here. After all this time, we finally hit 6,150 We're within $5, within a margin of error here. Finally hit it. So the weird part about this is, if I were going to sell or looking to get out of the S&P, I would get out now, or at least take some profit now. 6,150. Here we are, man. Look at this run. We're at the measured move. This is it. This doesn't mean, like panic sell everything, get all out. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you have been investing throughout this entire time, you've been DCAing, you've been buying, you've taken no profits, I would take profit. I would take some profit. Whether that's 5%, 10%, 25%, 50%, whatever, doesn't matter. I would take something here. It may continue to run. It may keep running. But this has been ordained since all the way back in 2023. As soon as the previous all-time high broke, this target has sat there on this chart, and we have waited for it. Here we are. There it is. That's wild. Absolutely bonkers, and I never would have guessed it just based on what's happening today in the world. NQ still struggling. Probably a good sign that it's going to move to all-time high too. Also an interesting thing going on. I don't know how much longer I got with my voice. My voice is quickly crapping out. Also interesting, S&P at all-time high today, and in addition, somehow, gold, I don't know if it is today, but yeah, today, also at all-time high. Well, what's going on here? How do we have gold and stock? How do we have risk off and risk on at all-time high? The only explanation I have, man, that my beard is, I get like a hot spot on my beard. The only explanation I have, which is probably not a great one, is the dollar's pulled back since January. Pulled back to resistance, tested as support though. If we see gold and S&P continue to run, it's probably a signal that the dollar is going to roll over, that it is rolling over and it's going to continue. If the S&P reverses here, let's say opens tomorrow to a big red candle, I would bet that the dollar is going to rip. That's what I would guess. I think that the dollar is at like a critical pivot here. I think S&P at all-time high and gold at all-time high is kind of a signal of that. And I think we're likely to see this resolve like in this week. I think one of the pieces of the puzzle got to go. I don't think you can have all of them pump like that. And I don't know if it's gold. Gold looks strong as ever, dude. You got a flat top painted. You're just eating away at that 3,000 resistance, tapping on the door over and over and over, saying, let me in, let me in. That looks beautiful. Gold, I think, has higher to go. I don't think gold's done. Honestly, man, in the next few years, like I could see gold doubling. Like by 20, I don't know, time's impossible. By like 2028, 2029, I think gold could be at like 6,000 or higher, which is a wild thing to say. Not in crypto, but in gold, that's a wild thing to say. Here we are. What's up, Rebel? Babusi Balupi. What's up, Babusi Balupi? Jeremy Evans, subscribe. Kwon Kim. A lot of people subscribing here. Good to have you. What's the ticker for Sonic Bullish Bob? Just S. Just the letter S. A lot of new names. This is the first stream that we've had like any new viewers in weeks, and I'm for it. I'm for it. Numbers are quickly dwindling as the FOMC has ended, but that's just the way it is. I'm very happy that we had the turnout we did today. Very happy. What do we got? Where do we get? Let's see. Where are we? $153. That's not bad. 153,225. Nice. Nice. I like it. You guys are the best. All 153,225. Yeah, you're all the best. I love you all. Each and every one of you. Ooh, shit. One character gifted 50 memberships? Bro, I don't know when you did that, but you are the man. Are you still here? One care? No? My guy. My guy. My love. What a Chad. Who got them memberships? Put a little emoji in the chat if you got one of them. Put a little chirp how emoji, little Tom Crown emoji. You're the man, one character. I don't know if you can hear me. Look at Solana. Are you paying attention now? Are you paying attention now? You got stymied. What's up, Bullish Bradley? No luck over here? That's all right. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Huh. Solana market cap. Solana does look wrecked. But Solana market cap this week. So it does look like we got a little bounce here. That's actually good. Market cap yesterday and briefly today, high or low, but yesterday traded below the previous all-time high in 2021. That's not great. That's not a great thing. If you're a Solana holder, which a lot of you are, is what it is. I have some. I sold most of it. But if you're a Solana holder, this is not saying anything really about Solana right now, but just in the future, in your crypto journey, this chart is a lesson. Okay, this is the market cap. This isn't the value of it. It's the market cap of it. It should teach you a lesson. A lesson about supply. Solana should have been at an all-time high in November of last year. It should have traded, let's see. It should have traded 80% above its all-time high. It should have traded almost 100% above its all-time high this year at March. Wait, March of 25? In January of this year. It should have. But due to the supply increasing, this is what you got. Due to the supply, you got 10%. You got 10% new all-time high. You should have gotten almost 500. You should have almost had a $500 Solana this year in January. But instead, you're here at $168. It still should be above $260. But the supply has increased so much. You can see that here. Market cap versus price shows you that. That wasn't the case. You were robbed of your moon there. And I'm not saying it'll never go to all-time high. I'm not saying it's over or whatever. I think it looks like absolute crap right now, and I'm not super bullish on it, but I'm not saying that. But you should be mad. You got robbed of that $500 Solana this year. In the future, when you look at coins, you should be aware of their inflation schedules. Not that, I was aware of this or anything. I'm not saying you're stupid or something. I'm saying this is a lesson to learn. This is a learning lesson. Inflating of supply can put in a dynamic where the market cap moves to all-time highs, but the price doesn't, so you don't benefit. Basically, who benefits? The people who got the new supply. Who is that? ICO buyers, validators, people getting their coins unlocked. I think Solana has like multi-billion coin unlocks each month for the next 2 months, something. I'll tell you what, it's not looking good against Bitcoin. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it. That's right, Mr. Techno-Goody. Against Bitcoin, not looking good. Broke market structure. You hear Libra coins going to the moon. Yo, one character. There you are, brother. Thank you for the 50 memberships, my friend. Thank you. I heard from the president of Argentina that Libra coin is going to the moon as well. So I put all my money into it. I haven't checked on it in a while, though. Nor the news. I'm sure it's doing fine. Solana, man. I think it will bounce. I think Solana versus Bitcoin will bounce here. I'm not saying today necessarily. I don't think it's going straight down, but I think it will bounce. I think it will move to 002, and I think it will begin its journey down. It could retrace higher. It could come back up higher. I don't think it is going to break its cycle high here. That's where I'm at for now. TBD. I've been wrong in the past. I've been wrong again in the future. But I think it will set a lower high, and I think it will head down here. And I think eventually it'll end up looking like Ethereum against Bitcoin. Just seems to be the way of things. Against the dollar, where are we at? 168. You had some kind of support here on the month at 171. Let me give you a little hopium. Yeah. Here, 171. You have 9 days. Closing above 190 would be great. I wouldn't hold my breath, but closing above 190 would be great. 171 bare minimum. Close below there. I think you're looking for these range lows. I think around 110. long, yeah. Do you think crypto will be bullish after FOMC? No. No, not unless they make like a commitment to quantitative easing and interest rate cuts. SOL will go to 188. I can see that. Why BTC SOL on Malonzo? Why? What do you mean why? I guess I'm confused by the question. And then I forget that people aren't OGs like me. A long, long time ago, before stablecoins, this is as long ago as 2018, everything was traded against Bitcoin. It didn't have a dollar pair. People didn't even know the dollar value of coins. They really just knew the value of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin for the most part. Then stablecoins came along and everything got dollar values. That's what people largely know and trade now. However, all of the OGs, or the farther you go back, the more familiar you are with the Bitcoin value. And what you'll find is that there is lots of value to these pairs. They behave much better than the dollar pairs. They're much less manipulated, in my opinion, or whatever that means. They're more predictable. And they are a very useful tool in understanding, is your investment, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be Solana. You know, this is you know what, instead of having Solana pulled up, I'm going to pull up Ethereum for you because this will drive my point home. When the market is really hot and everything's moving up, this will give you a much better idea of, are you performing? Because everything's going up. It's easy to think you're winning. But if your coin is not outperforming Bitcoin, you're not winning, because you could be taking on less risk just buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, I think, is a no-brainer, is the lowest risk asset in crypto. If your coin isn't outperforming it, you're taking a hit basically on the risk. You're taking a higher risk for a lower return. You're losing. This is valuable here. Here's an example. Ethereum has been falling against the Bitcoin pair. I have been, I don't even remember when it started, around here maybe. I sold most of my Ethereum and I said, I don't necessarily think Ethereum is bearish, but I think it won't perform. I think it will be less bullish than Bitcoin. What we've seen is a very predictable, very consistent bleeding of FBTC for months. Actually, to be honest, since the merge, really just since the merge. This has been a great piece of evidence for me in trading. I have been able to short Ethereum, long Bitcoin, and essentially be net neutral on a position, but profit off of the weakness from Ethereum. I won't get into that too much here because that'll just confuse you. But these pairs are very important. They are very much paid attention to by the biggest players in the space. They'll give you a great idea of how the coin is performing, how it may likely perform in the future, where it's heading, let's say. TBD. If Ethereum gets back above 0.33 against Bitcoin, I'll begin to maybe think it's looking okay. For now, it's still falling. It hit major support at 0.25. It's not a bad place. I haven't rebought at 0.25, but I might look to rebuy some at 0.18. There you go. Sell Soul now, says Jets. I don't know, dude. Crypto is just a big grift, says Ian Mackey. Doesn't matter if they rug you or directly you take your money through BlackRock. It's all the same. That's why Bitcoin's not crypto. Honestly, that's why I stick in Bitcoin. People are crying about ETH inflation. Solana's way worse. Absolutely, Ion. I mean, it absolutely is. But ETH also kind of had its BS, man. Remember, the merge was all about like it's going to be deflationary. Ethereum's supply is now higher, to my knowledge. Maybe I should look this up. Higher than pre-merge, than when the merge happened. Let me see. Let's see if I can find the chart. It was deflationary for a while, but then it became inflationary again. Now it's pre-merge. So it, since the merge, inflated. Maybe I'll say in its defense, it probably has inflated less than Bitcoin in that time. We'll see. Roughly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, probably less than Bitcoin. I don't know the math, but here you go. Yep. Reset Zoom. Screw you, you charts. I'm gonna go over here. There we are. Here's the merge. 120 million Ethereum. It got as low. Is this really the top supply? Okay, doesn't seem to have like the dip here. But anyway, back to just over where it started. Reset. Oh God, why do you do it that way? Why would anyone want to do it that way? There we go. Yeah, dude, like it very briefly was deflationary, or at least not inflationary, and now it's right back. Supply is important. Supply is very important. It's incredibly important if you're holding the coin and hoping it appreciates. And it's even more important who's getting those coins, where those coins are going. Flash bang. Yeah, I mean, not inflationary or deflationary now, true, but I think you can kind of imply, you know, like the trajectory it's on, that it will become inflationary again. Let's just say it. Eth is butt sauce, says Sergeant Wiggles. I mean, it's kind of butt sauce. BitBoy needs help, Shannon Carter. BitBoy needs help, says Shannon Carter. True. True. I hope he gets that help. You know, like, dude's made a lot of mistakes. He's harmed people. I hope he gets the help he needs. And I hope that he can make amends to the people he's harmed in his life. And I hope he can live happy. And that's about it. What's up, your boy? You're scared, but you're not selling? That's a good boy, Drizzy. Let's see who else is here. If you're out there and you have not subscribed, and you have not subscribed, could you tickle that button for me? Go ahead, hit that like button. My browser just crashed. Stream's still on though. That's good. My browser just crashed. Cool. Just said out of memory. What was I saying? Yeah, if you're out there and you haven't subscribed, could you hit that subscribe button for me? Like the stream. You should check out our new group. Go to joincrowncrypto.com. Get a free week trial. It's good stuff. We have daily exclusive live streams in there, market analysis, all kinds of goodies, trade signal setups. We have a whole course. It's wonderful. That's the only show I did today. You can join our Discord. It's free. Discord.gg/TomCrown. What's up, 2112 Crypto? Ali Barud, All Set, Barokes, Boundless, Krug, Crypto Caveman, Drunk Maroon. We see a lot of new members here thanks to one character, my guy. In Code We Trust. There's a based-ass name. You're in good company here. Janix, Jesse, Jet, J, Giddy, Lars Larson, Lando, Lift Much, I do. Mean Gene, Mr. Schmeedy, how are you? Mohammed Jafari M, how are you? Muchamad, Saifik, Music Miracles, Nana, how are you, Nana? Vinandia, number 42, Pat QC, Salem, Sergeant Wiggle, Shannon Carter, Stymie, Trade Intuition, how are you, brother? How your streams going? Eye of Husky, Travis Michael, Verrippin, your boy Drizzy, Yusuf, Zigzag, all the boys are here. All the boys are here. I heard there was a blockchain conference at the University of Penn tomorrow. It's kind of a long train ride, but I might go. What's up, Tom? What's up, Drew? How you doing, Jordan? Drew, how you doing, bro? Our listening, no clue if Bitcoin's moving. It is not, JB. It's right where it was. Oh, I have water here. Bitcoin's right where we left it at 96.1. Market's dead. I know, dude. It's obviously not dead, because dead would imply it will never be alive, but it is hibernating for sure. What do I think of STX, Travis? Yeah, hasn't set off any alerts for me lately. Hasn't really been on my mind much. And it looks like 93 cents we had a trade go. We had a few of them get... Ooh, they didn't get stopped out. They filled. Nice. I didn't even brag about those. Yeah, we did get stopped out on this one. 93 cents. All right, cool. Cool. My guy, Travis. Thank you for this. Let me see. 270. Certainly a target that's possible. I think that might be a little hefty here. I have no idea how long that has been there. These are the best trades, though. I always get excited when I see like these big move down to major support moves. And a bounce. We got some kind of bounce. You know, actually, this could be lower. Get a really good risk to reward there. I'm going to copy that. That actually looks like a solid trade. I have not opened that chart in quite some time. With the proper risk management, I think STX has a pretty legit trade here. What do you guys think? I like it. Right, like you're right back to the 618. You've broken $1. Let's see. I bet that's like a monthly level too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Come on. That's what I like. There's just never a guarantee in trading. But damn, this is like the kind of position I like taking. I am. Chart kind of looks like shit though. But hey, you made a big expansive move with very little bounceable upside down to a major support, down to the golden Fibonacci retracement. I think there's a scalp play. My computer's being very weird. Something's going on with it. Maybe it's just telling me that it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. All shitcoins are meme coins. All meme coins are shitcoins. Coins check gift in the membership. Thank you, darling. Good to see you. 10JK. You must be Jam Bell's buddy. Calling in the top. Bull market's over. What's up, David Brumton? If you're here and not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Appreciate you. Can we have a look at Litecoin? We did look at Litecoin. We have looked at the coin of light. It's one of the only good looking coins. It's one of the handsome coins. It's one of the only handsome coins these days. It's actually looking really good. Short-term price prediction still. I'd say up. Powell speak yet? Asked Chris. 1K people watching. 629 likes. Dude, it's been a solid stream. What's that quantum theory about if you observe it, it stops? Schrodinger. When you look at Bitcoin, it stops. When you look away, it moves. It's perpetually moving in, not moving at the same time until you look at it. Powell talked already. So today was the minutes. He didn't actually speak. He speaks in 3 weeks. We'll be covering that. You better believe it. 3 weeks, 6 days. But the minutes summary, I don't know if Pickle got timestamps on it. There'll be enough timestamps. You can go back and watch it. There was some good stuff. It wasn't really the quantitative tightening talk and the debt ceiling talk was the major points. Let's go. Every single on-chain metric related to Solana is bringing a top pattern. Dude, Solana's on-chain. Dude, in general, I think on-chain metrics are bull. They're just so easily manipulated. Solana's on-chain specifically is so bull. It's like they boasted all these transactions a second, and it's like 90-something% of them are like the voting transactions, which are like transactions that other chains don't even include as transactions. It's like voting, and I forget. It's like validators sending rewards back to each other. So it's like zombie data. JJ Giddy said, like the stream. Chat. Thank you, JJ Giddy. I have not pulled up XRP today. The Ribbler. Every scammer instantly gets banned. That's good. Yeah, but I'm feeling this week will be decisive for crypto. I agree. This week, so I don't know about this week. Honestly, it's possible. Of course, it's possible. I really think, though, next week, I think into the close of February. February is the only month that is perfectly 4 weeks. 28 days divided by a week is 4. I think the wrap up of February is going to be very, very decisive. I think we're going to see a lot of mix-ups. I think we'll see a lot of volatility too. XRP, I mean, XRP is better off than many. Held your low after a high. This wick is nice, cleared out kind of any leverage to the long side, really lifted some weight, made FOMO hands likely fold. Hold this low and you're okay. I would say there's likely a trade on XRP. I'm not going to put it up here, but like with, I don't know, your stop being under, under 250 somewhere, and your take profit being like at all-time high, I think there's a trade. If you lose your low, and like this is looking bad. If you lose like 230, I think it's good. This looks like a capitulation. This is Binance spot, yeah. Looks like a seller capitulation up here at this price. A nice sweep. Usually when I see a sweep like this, I expect at least a break of the high. Like it can then nuke, but like at least a break of the high, because sellers here then rebuy and they're trapped as liquidity. I think it's likely got more to go. It's just not going to budge until Bitcoin dominance is done. That's what I'm thinking. February is a good month for Bitcoin historically. Yeah. I wouldn't get too attached to stuff like that. But I don't think it even needs to close very high. Honestly, above 93.3, I'm happy. 93.3 and things are good. Really would prefer 96.5. But 93.3, we're Gucci. I think we get a green month in March. I think supply shock will set in ever. I don't know, Chad. I've never been like the biggest like supply shock guy as the narrative, but like logically you would assume so. It just doesn't seem like it though, right? 2 minutes downside, Jesse. People rotate to Litecoin. That'd be cool. All right. Dead ceiling. Yep. Yeah. Master fusions. No way. You're saying they do fake transactions like they did, I'm assuming you mean, to sell the NFTs. Fake sales. They pump prices. No way. Yeah. Yeah, but people constantly reference on-chain metrics. DSV, my guy, having a good one today. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I am going to wrap it up. My voice is going. We've had a great stream. This is the first stream with like any amount of new viewers in a while. I like it. Let's go. We're going to be live again Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern right here. You all should tune in. Hopefully we get some spice. In the meantime, you should join our Discord. Check out our private group. And then you should have yourself a wonderful freaking day. That's right, Tunavar. T-Nuvar. That's right. What's up, Hookah Fish? Me and Gene. I see you guys. Thanks for subscribing today. Thanks for making this stream a good one. I will catch you guys on Friday at the latest. I'll see you in the